Well, it was just over a year ago now that I was last here at Lake Sumbar in Croatia, and at the time it was undoubtedly the hottest session I'd ever done in my life, absolutely roasting. And a year on, in August, I'm back here again, and it is just as hot. It's absolutely roasted here. Whew. Last time I was just one swim down there. Got Joan to pick out the draw this time. She picked out number 5, and luckily this swim was still left. It was the number 1 choice, swim number 1. It's going to be very hot. A few storms forecast here and there, not many, but it's mainly going to be blue skies, very little wind, very little cloud. Just a roaster, basically. Going to be hard conditions for me, but hopefully good conditions for the carp. But we'll see. It's very nice to be back here anyway. After the long tiring drive from England, it's often hard to find the motivation to do anything, but I really wanted to get the rods out. But just as I started doing that, a big storm raged through the region, so I waited for that to pass, then managed to get all 3 out, all on a bar at about 100 yards range. The right hand one went just inside that marker about 5 yards away. I didn't get the cameras out because of the storm. I didn't want to get them wet, and that turned out to be a mistake, because literally about half hour after getting the rods out, the right hand one absolutely tore off. God, what a brilliant start. Literally only just got the rods out, and dinner arrived. Just sitting there eating a bit of chicken and heard the alarm go, and wow, what a fish. Lovely, great big common, 5610. Wow. Little scopex squid pop up, and I've just put a few scopex squid crumb and pellet and a few 15mm freebies, and yeah, off it's gone literally. And I knew it was a good fish. It was a slow plodder, but I didn't expect it to come that quick. There we go. Not going to hang about as it's really warm. I'm sweating, so it's not much fun for him, so I'm going to get him back. But great start. To get a fish like that in the first hour was more than I could have hoped for, really, and 25 kilo was really my target for the trip, so I was well chuffed with that one. But I got the rod back out, and in no time at all it was away again, this time with a 51-pound mirror. It was unbelievable stuff, but if I thought that was good, then the best was yet to come. Well, it's been absolutely amazing. A few hours of fishing, God. 56, then 51 mirror, and now the biggest of the lot so far, and my first Croatian 60 pound 12 ounce. What a cracker, look at that. Same rod again, all 3 fish on the same rod. And I don't know what it is about that spot. There's a little spot on the bar there, 7 or 8 foot, and whatever it is, these fish seem to like it. And same rig, little popped up scopex squid. And yeah, every time I put it out, it goes off, and with a lump on the end like this. I'm absolutely worn out. I'm soaked in sweat. It's so warm, so humid, but it's absolutely brilliant. What a first day. It can't carry on like this, but if it does, I'll be worn out but very happy. But there we go. Whoa. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Once the stormy first evening had passed, the sun was back out and it was back to the hot, steamy conditions that I knew from the year before. So instead of using a bivvy, we opted for the gazebo, which is a lot more airy and spacious inside, and felt a lot more comfortable in that intense heat. Made for the job it was. All of the action that first afternoon had come on my little hinge rigs with the Scopex squid pop-ups. In actual fact, all the action had come onto the same rod for that matter. But strange as it sounds, after that first evening that rod went quiet for a few days, and so it was down to the other rods to bring a few fish. On my other rods I was of course using my trusty Snowman rig, which never varies much. It's the length of coated braid, size 6 claw hook fish KD style, and of course the Scopex squid. I was using a 20mm bottom bait and a 12mm pop-up. In addition to the basic rig, I was also using a little mesh bag of pellet and flaked Scopex squid. That was really just so that on the cast it would just drop down nicely onto the bottom and present the bait well. Just to give that extra attraction, I was also dipping the bag in the Scopex squid liquid and giving the hook bait a little spray as well, so that any fish in the area would definitely know that bait was out there. And it wasn't too long before the Snowman rod did its job. Lovely. Well done, Pat. Cool. It's a good scrap. God, that's a nice surprise anyway. It's the first bite since Friday when we arrived. And they've been showing in other parts, but they've gradually shown closer and closer to my areas basically. And this one was hooked really quite a long way back, about 4 inches back in the mouth, but an absolute cracker. First one under 50 actually, 49 1/4 though. Stonking great common. God, did scrap as well. Oh, and then just coming up to the hottest part of the day, and off it went. So happy days. I'm doing it in the shade here because it's absolutely roasting out there. But yeah, lovely to get one. I know there's loads more like this out there, so maybe it's the start of fish coming in and having a munch. We'll see, but we're happy with this one anyway. Well, still early enough in the morning that the sun's not got its full heat at the moment. It's still quite cool, so got a little job to do anyway. Now, I've got a big bay up to my left here, and it's all my water. But Christoph was saying might be worth one rod up there, but not much more. But it does cover quite a bit of water. And I put one rod round there yesterday evening and did get a take and lost it. But from the swim it's quite awkward to actually get the angle around the reeds. But just here, the reeds are quite thin, and the plan is anyway to just bungee them. Not going to break anything, just going to put a bungee around them, tie them back and get a rod in here where I've got a much better angle. So well, that's the plan anyway. Wherever we go in the world, we love to see the wildlife, and there was plenty of it about at Sumbar. During the day there was all sorts of little birds and one single swan out on the lake as well. But at night a whole different set of wildlife came to the fore. There are actually quite a lot of hedgehogs around the lake. I haven't seen many for years wherever we've been, but we had up to 3 around the bivvy at a time. But we also had a visit from some much larger hogs a few days later. Got some guests for dinner. Another one there. Right outside the bivvy. Is that nice, mate? Yeah? Is that nice? I know it's nice, isn't it? Yeah? Yeah? Who could be frightened of you, eh? What? It's okay. Don't tip it over. Go on, that's enough. Well, it took a while to go, but it was worth putting that rod round there in the end. Lovely early morning sort of wake up call really. I was actually just about to move that rod. I thought it's not really happening down in that bay. A little bit of action just started to happen now out on the main bar, so I thought right, I'll get that rod in, and of course what happens, it goes steaming off. Not a monster, just over £40 common. Absolute mega scrap I had with it round in the bay. I thought it was a bigger fish actually. It was one of those deep plodders that I couldn't get up for ages. But you know, it's still good fish, £40, and yeah, it sort of justifies putting that rod down in the bay really. I think I will still move it though, because I think a real big one is going to come from out on that main bowl, the main part of the lake. So it worked anyway. That's the main thing. Although it was roasting hot in the afternoon sun, the fish were definitely moving into the area and having a munch. The signs were very clear to see out there all around, and surely it was only a matter of time before one of them went off. It is absolutely roasting hot, middle of the afternoon. Don't know how hot it is. Well into the 30s. Oh, well done. Oh, well, another cracking mirror. 51.5 pound. And it is so hot you wouldn't believe. So, finding what little bit of shade we can. I don't know why the fish like it so much in this heat. Well, I suppose actually I do, because there's some springs out there around different parts of the lake, and they've actually put cameras down and filmed them, and you can see the jets of fresh water coming up out of the lake bed. That's obviously a lot cooler, so even though the margins are absolutely red hot, probably over 30 degrees now, where these fish are feeding, feels a lot better for them, you know, cool oxygenated water. But they're certainly feeding for whatever reason it is. I mean, it's absolutely roasting hot, and these fish are having it. Whew, another cracker, afternoon cracker. Up until this point it had been my rods going off all the time, and all the time it was happening on those I was giving them all my concentration, but of course Joan had rods out too, and eventually one of hers went off, and what a fish it was.
Okay.
Hold on. There we go. Well, this is Joan's first Croatian carp. 54.5 pound. How about that?
Very
Said you
happy.
wanted to
Very,
yeah?
yes, well, yeah, I'm very, very happy.
Yeah, no, it's a lovely result,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I love it here and I want to come back.
It's been a good trip, hasn't it?
Fantastic.
And, put your rods out again this morning.
Yeah.
Saw one jump over the spot.
Yeah.
And this was it.
Yes, lovely.
Happy days.
Yes.
So strong.
Nice.
Once again the heat had been relentless. Definitely one of the hottest places I've ever been in my life. But it was brilliant. It was just a matter of cooling off the best way we could. Either sitting in the shade or taking a dip in the lake if it came to that. But it was great. We was loving it there. Well, this might be the last one we get. It's literally last knock-ins. We've got to pack and head off early in the morning, so this is actually the smallest one we've caught, 36.5 pound, but another cracking Croatian carp. We've had such a fantastic time here, we really have, and we caught some lovely fish. We caught some big ones as well, and it's just been great. It's a lovely place, lovely people, and loads of lovely carp like this. Yeah, we've absolutely loved it here. Loads of lovely fish like this, and just a fabulous place. Absolutely roasting hot, so I'm not going to hang about. I'm going to get him back, but we will be back next year. So happy days. See you next time.